Let's record. Ooh, hello, hello. What are we gonna talk about today? Do a really quick rundown on my video settings on the Sony A1 camera. General settings that I would have is video mode. I would record in 4K, 24. Video, image quality, file format, XAVC S4K. The reason I do that is just because it's less processing on the computer. You can record in HS, that'll be in H265 format, but then you have to decode it and format it, because unless you have a beast of a machine, and even then it's going to run really, really slow. It saves me a little bit of a step and whatnot. I tend to stay in just a regular 4K mode. Movie settings, 24 frames a second. That gives us 422 10-bit at 100 megabytes. S&Q settings, I always keep at 120. I record at 24 just because I want to get a quick slow motion shot. I can always switch into S&Q. Then we have 3 program modes that come right after that, and I keep those really specifically organized, and I'll tell you exactly how I have them. Shooting mode 1, I have at 4K 60 frames a second. 2, I have at K 120. Shooting mode 3, I have at 8K. The reason I do that, it just gives me all of those really quick accesses to slow motion mode. So 4K 60 if I'm shooting a human subject, and a 4K 120 gives me really nice slow motion, but at the same time it records audio, so I can extract the audio for that and work with that. Whereas in the S&Q, the 4K slow motion in there, when it records at 120, you can select what frame rate it records into. So such as I have 24 frames, but you can set it to 30 frames a second, 48, 60 frames a second record. So it'll still record at 120, but I mean play back at your desired frame rate. So you don't have to slow it down all the way to 24 internally. And it can do that internally, but it will not record sound in that mode. So you have to watch out for that. So that's the way it's set up. So again, quick look over. So we have 3 different shooting modes after the S&Q. The S&Q, I keep at 4K 120, playback speed of 24, 5 times slow motion. Shooting mode 1, 4K, 60 frames, 422 10-bit mode. So the files are really hefty, and so to do that, to record steady 422 60 frames at 200 megabits a second, you do need a fast card. And Sony actually uses these CFast type A cards. They have a read and write speed of about 799, 800 megabytes a second. You do have a limitation with them. They are only 160 gigabytes each. It's the maximum that they come in. And they're pretty pricey. They're $3.99, I believe, a piece. And get back to the custom settings. So we clear image zoom and you have a digital zoom. So for example, this lens right here. So 4K 120, you're not gonna have the zoom. You're gonna be stuck to the original lens, unless you go into crop mode. But in 60, look at this. That's your clear image zoom, the 1.5, which gets you to about a 50 millimeter lens. And then you have your digital zoom up to 4 times, which is incredible for this. So you're still getting full frame, 1.4. Okay, that's digital zoom, but it's there. It's there. So yeah, the run and gun camera, it would definitely be this. And to make it into a light and portable, this would probably be the lens, the 35 millimeter lens, because you can extend that to a 50 really quick in the crop sensor mode for pictures. I would say this would be definitely the lens to carry. But I honestly, a lot of times go with this particular lens just because it's a 28 to 135. Has limitation of being an f4, but with this particular camera, it's kind of a beast. It just doesn't have certain characteristics as a prime lens. Those are my settings for run and gun video.